Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Reality Right After. I am here with my superstar co-host. Hi, Kay.
Hi, how are you?
Fresh off the Brian Redmond interview, which
Yeah.
went
Woo, woo,
amazing.
woo, woo.
Hey, Kadian.
Hi.
How's
Welcome back,
everything?
y'all.
I know. I'm like excited. We had an interview last week, which was the Cynthia Bailey interview.
Mhm.
So we didn't come on the air because of that. And we decided to drop the Brian interview on Monday so that we can still come on the air midweek. So I'm happy. I'm happy to be back. And let's just get into it. You already know. Let's start with the TV recap and new show on the block. Candy and the Gang. Loving it, loving it, loving it. This show features Candy and her staff at the Old Lady Gang restaurant. And it features another side of Candy, her as a boss, not necessarily her on Real Houses of Atlanta. So there's a couple episodes that have already been out from the show, and I just wanted to go through the cast and a recap of what we think so far of each person. So let's start with Dom Unique, by the way. Dom Unique. So Dom Unique is the bartender who is also trying to create a career in dance. She wants to dance next to Beyonce. So what do you guys think about Dominique? She's also the one that is with Brandon, the manager. What do you guys think?
So for me personally, I like her. I think that for me, her attitude and just how she shows up to work, right? Like, and like her aspirations and stuff like that. Like, and I think that she's mad pretty, honestly. Like I love
Yeah,
her
she's super
look.
beautiful.
Like I'm like, yes, girl. So I'm here for getting to know her, and see especially what goes on with her, and this love affair that they have at the office. But yeah,
Right.
I like her.
Which
Yeah,
Candy seems to be all for because she's like, I met Todd on the job. So if I met Todd
Right.
on the job, like I can't really be mad at them.
Right.
Okay.
right. She's super beautiful, cool, down to earth. And I love that she wants so many things for herself. It's good to dream, it's good to have aspirations and go after what you want. Never settle. And I love that about her.
Right, right. Let's keep it right on to Brian, who Kay had the opportunity of interviewing.
Yeah.
So Brian Redman, he used to be the bartender at Old Lady Gang. He's been with Old Lady Gang since the beginning. And recently, due to some struggles with alcohol and drug abuse, he decided to take a step from the bar and is serving now at the restaurant. So you go first, Kate, because you just spoke to him.
I would say I love him. Like personally, he has like a bubbly attitude, like fun. So I could definitely see him being a server. Like I'm sure that like his customers, anybody that he comes in
Love him.
contact with, like they're definitely leaving satisfied. We had a great conversation kind of talking about, some of the struggles that he's had in the past and how he has been able to, overcome them, and how
Hmm.
he's willing to share his stories so that, he can help out, someone else that may be going through the same things. And I love that transparency. Like I feel like if you're going to come on reality TV, you have to know how to be transparent. And I think for him to do that so early in the game, that was a great move.
Right, right.
Right. And I would agree to be so transparent. And I always say things about yourself so that way you are so comfortable. You aren't insecure. You've made your mistakes. You've learned from whatever you need to learn from. So that way people can't attack you or hurt you or beat you down. And I completely admire that about him. He was okay with sharing his past, present, and what he currently wants for himself. And I think that was so beautiful. And to be so vulnerable is, I can only admire that of a person. And I wish him nothing but the best, to overcome certain things. It's very difficult because life is extremely hard for everybody. And
Right.
we learn each and every day about ourselves, and I just thought it was so beautiful to share so many things, like so many things and be so comfortable with saying them. I can only admire a person like that.
I agree with you, with the both of you. I think that, like Kay said, if you're gonna do reality television, you can't really hide things. You can't really, stand behind the curtain. And he brought it all out. He's being honest. And when you're honest on camera, you own your story. You don't let people tell your story. So
Yep.
him, this could have. Let's say he didn't say that he has struggles with alcohol and drugs. This could have been like, something that was brought out by another cast member or said by
Mhm.
another cast member, and then it would look wrong. So the fact that he was able to get on top of that, and also like him just having that energy to say it, because some people like don't even know
Shame.
reality TV and how things work, and will this person tell my skeletons on camera? So it's just, you
Mhm.
can tell that he's genuinely um open.
Being himself.
So yeah, I really like him. I really like it. And if you haven't, make sure you go check out that exclusive interview with
Yeah.
Brian Redman that our correspondent Kay did on Monday. So go on the YouTube and check that out. Moving forward, Brandon, the manager, the one that is in entanglement with Miss Dominique. No, literally, because I'm like, what is it at this point? So Brandon, my apologies. He is handsome. He is tall. He's dark. I literally my type, chat. But let's get in. What do you guys think?
I think, to be a manager of any facility, place, business, it's extremely hard and difficult because you want to be friendly, you want to be nice, but you also have to be super stern and you have to find a good balance within that. And I think that's
Right,
something he's going to learn and figure out as he goes on, because you have to
right,
allow people to not only earn the respect that you deserve for yourself, but for them to also learn from you and feel like they can approach you about anything. And I think he's in a very tough role, but there's things he could learn and there's things I feel like he's doing really well. So good luck to him.
I'm
I
glad.
agree.
I'm glad Katie went first. Cause listen, I was gonna say what Wellington said. Well, Wellington said he's tall, dark, and handsome. I was gonna say, and listen, that's what it is. Like, listen, I'm gonna be positive, like Katie. Like, he definitely has a
No,
lot.
we can take it to the gutter because let's be honest, he don't stay off that phone.
Right. I'm just like, he definitely has a lot to learn being in the position that he's in. And I will also say, while Kandi may be okay with, you know what I mean, him messing with, somebody that's on the staff, I think that they
Mhm.
also have to be careful of how that looks to the other staff members as well, so that they can make sure that, hey, I don't feel like you treating her any differently than you're treating me. I can still come to you if I have a problem about her, right? Like professionalism. Like, I think those are some of the things, like professionalism, and then knowing his place as a manager. Those are some things that I think he still needs to learn, because yeah, I don't know if I would be somebody that want to work up under him right now, but he does
Right.
have potential.
Right. And
He's
I mean, I didn't touch on that entanglement situation like Wellington mentioned, but sometimes you can't help who you like, and sometimes they're in your workspace. And we
but
watch.
you can help who you pull up on. And he clearly pulled up on Dominique. And
That
I
is
feel like
very true.
there should have been like a wall there of not pulling up on her, not doing the cute little, like he was heavy on her.
Yeah.
Like
At the workplace, I think.
workplace out
But
there. And then like on your phone. The restaurant is a mess, and then when he's taken outside, and Philip is like, "How's it going?" He's like, "It's going great," and Philip is like, "How is it going great?"
Right? Are
Like,
you at the same place I'm
because
at?
it's going great with his situation, and that's the thing. And that's the thing, you have to find a balance, because what if the next place he goes is the same thing all over again? He never gets to learn, and you have to be able to learn. You have to know how to still do your job and to separate those things, to know, hey, my relationship is outside of this workplace, and I have to treat everyone here equally and command the same things from everybody. And she doesn't get special treatment just because I like her. However, it's very difficult, and the focal point at work is work.
Right.
So that's where I would disagree with how he approached certain things, but you can't help it sometimes. And I hope he learns,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he definitely has room to grow, but I just got to point out them flaws right now, honey, because that's what I see.
Right. Right. Well, moving right along to Mr. Philip.
Oh,
Philip
that's a nice
is
picture.
the no, he is gorgeous. Like one thing, he is the energy and the personality does not give to me whatsoever. And I will give him the benefit of the doubt. When you are edited as the villain, he's clearly the villain of the group. He's the mean manager that wants things to be done just like him. And I understand it. And there has to be a villain in every story. But his energy on the show, I hope that in person he's completely different because he is a gorgeous
Oh,
man.
right.
Him and his boyfriend, I love that scene of him and his boyfriend. You can clearly see that his boyfriend was a little bit very nervous to have like cameras in front of him. But him and his boyfriend, because it kind of let us see like a different side of Philip, and he was like smiling and telling jokes. And so I feel like he needs to kind of like cool down a little bit. Like I get it, the situation at Old Lady Gang is low key fucked up, which is why he's there. But it's like I don't think the rest of the staff is receptive to like his style of leadership.
I think that in him and Brandon needs to kind of like swap some things, right? Because like he has some things that I feel like Brandon needs, and Brandon has some personality and things that he needs. So I think, if they could kind of like intermingle that and, swap some of those energies, I think that would be good because, like I said, I don't want to say that. Okay, yeah. So they're making him out to be the villain, but I don't want people to feel like he's the villain because he's coming in there and doing his job either, right? Like I don't think that he should get labeled a villain just because
Oh
of
no,
that. Because
he's being labeled a villain because he is nasty.
is he nasty or is he just like straightforward, no shooter, like I mean no chaser, like is that why like is it that or is he just like downright nasty?
I'm
I
gonna
feel like
I'm gonna say this. If you're gonna be the villain in the story, be the villain in the story. Bring it. Be that. And if it's how you are because it's how you are gonna function in the job position, be it. Don't apologize for it, just be it. However, when it comes on to a business that you don't own and it has to be functioned a certain way, you have to have some type of couth at the same time. And
I
that's my
agree.
only thing. That's my only thing. Be the villain because we need one.
Right.
But also stay in that spot because oftentimes on reality TV, someone starts off as a villain and then based off like social media reactions or how they see themselves projected on television, they switch up or they play the victim card and all of that. But it's who they are, generally, it's who they are, and then they pretend to be something they're not the following season, or they leave, and I hate that. But I'm always like, be the villain if you're the villain. Like it is what it is.
I just feel like there's other people that they're straight shooters and they don't come off as mean. They don't come off as like I'm sorry. Like I'm sure that he's a wonderful person. That's why he has a boyfriend that loves him. But on this show, they hate you, and that's definitely
He
what's
don't
being
care either.
translated. He don't care either. He don't care either. And I also think that like his lack of like care for their opinions is wrong because as a manager and as a person of leadership, you can't just say, "Well, I don't care if people don't like me."
Yeah, he's trying to be a dictator, and that's not what's
People
needed,
ne-
right?
people need to like you. People need to be able to come to you. People need to be able to feel like they can talk to you.
Yep.
So I feel like him and this like even with Torin in the little bit of the last episode where Torin is like like he's trying to talk and he's like, well, you're not in the position to come here and talk to me this way. At the end of the day, I am leadership and I just don't like, calm down. Calm down. Enough of him though. Enough of him.
And you
Because
can't
like
be like that. You cannot be
really,
like that. Like I
you
said, you
can't.
can be the villain and be the villain, but you cannot be like,
I think he,
oh, closed off where people can't even come and be like, have a good day. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
There's they
Like,
walk on
Hey, let me say
eggshells
something.
when it comes to him. They walk too much. Well, the hostess with the
ooh.
mostest, Chandrika. She is the hostess at Old Lady Gang. She used to be entangled with Candy's cousin Patrick, who is a Patrick. Lord Jesus, bless that boy. Um, but Chandrika, what do you guys think about Chandrika? I think that we're definitely gonna see. Out of all of the girls, I feel like she's definitely gonna glow the fuck up with this show. I feel like she is. I already see that she has like shades and like a sunglass eyewear line. So I already see that she has that going
Yeah,
on.
she's gonna use it too, I
So
think.
I think that she is funny. I think that she is the glue in the cast. Like she's friends with a lot of people in the cast. And I was really surprised that she said what she said about getting paid $12 while on camera because like even like my reaction would have been just as Patrick, like we're all here because of Candy and you're throwing her under the bus. Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would have never thought that, like at least at season one I would have never thought that like we would have gotten this like realness out of this cast, which is why I'm loving the show. But any thoughts, Kay?
I mean, listen, here's the thing. Yes, we are on reality TV. Yes, Candy has afforded us this opportunity, but that doesn't mean that I can't talk about you like I would talk about any other
Right.
man, right? So I actually respected her for being honest and open. You know what I mean about that because, like you said, a lot of other people probably were looking like, don't be saying that. Like we can't be talking. But no, listen. I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing about you off camera, on camera, and vice versa.
Right.
But yeah, I love her. Like I think now, when she was late to work. I think that was the first episode when she had came right when the door. So I said, "Baby, you got to get here on time." But again, like I think that as time go on, we're gonna learn a lot about her. I think she's definitely going to take advantage of the opportunity that she's been afforded to be able to push out some of those other things like you were mentioning earlier. And so yeah, I like her. Like I said, she has a good personality. She's friends with multiple people, and that's the type of person you need on a cast like this.
Right.
I'm gonna agree. She was definitely the one that stood out the most to me. And I think it's okay to mention things you're not okay with, regardless of everyone having loyalty and respect for Candy and her being one of our favorite housewives. We have to be honest, We have to be honest because that's what sets the
I'm
tone.
laughing. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at you. At you're saying and her being one of our favorite housewives, which she is, but I know that some people will like not agree with that.
Oh, well, they don't have to agree. That's what makes it fun. But no, I love Candy because Candy's a go-getter, Candy's a hustler, and I feel like when you put so many years into a show, you have to be one of the favorites naturally,
Right.
not even because personally or who we like the most. I just think naturally she's one of our favorites because if not, she wouldn't have been around. We would have been begging for her to leave plenty of times. However, back to this show, I would say it's okay for someone to mention, I'm not being paid how I expect, because that sets the tone for society itself. A lot of times people of color are shorted in the workplace. Women are even shorted even more in the workplace, and she's both. So if she says, hey, 12 hour, $12 an hour is not cutting it, I'm not okay with that. Whether she signed up for it or not, sometimes people are down and out, not saying that she is, and they need a job. And it's better for her
Yeah.
to have a job and complain and saying, hey, my salary or my pay is not exactly where it needs to be at, than not to have a job and complaining about this and that about wanting to work. And I can only respect it. We saw the same thing on Cell in Tampa when Reina spoke out about payment and percentages and all of those things. It's okay to mention these things in the workspace, because as much as the other people might have said, why are you bringing this up? They're thinking the same exact thoughts.
Right. And they're probably grateful that you did.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mhm.
And they're not being real with themselves by just trying to say, why would you say that? But
Right.
I applaud her for that moment, because I'm sure if Kandi was being shorted on The Housewives, she wouldn't be coming back. I'm sure if she was shorted for her songwriting,
And
she
it would have been
wouldn't
pulled up in
be
that
writing no
office.
more. I think it's only fair, and we can't be mad at her for mentioning the money part of it at all. And I think as a boss, Kandi, whether she liked the comment or not, she should look into it to make sure everyone amongst her staff is being paid exactly how they should be paid.
Or at least align with, the pay scale for someone in those jobs. So
Yeah.
Right.
And leave that minimum wage stuff out the door, because honestly, every state has their own minimum wage situation, but you have to think about livable income and all these things. Rent is super high. There's gas is super high. All of these things. And you can't say, well, this is what the state requires, when you know you're making millions more in your restaurant and you could do it for your staff. So
Right.
as a boss, definitely look at those things internally and make sure your people are covered and they're getting paid.
Right. Right. Moving forward with Rashard, he is the hostess from Blaze that Kandi got to come to LOG, kind of to save the hosting station, Chef, to teach Andrika some things. We really haven't seen much of him. We really haven't seen much of him at all in the past couple episodes. I'm sure that he's probably going to have like his little big one soon. But he seems good vibes, and he seems to know what he's doing, and he seems to take like his job seriously for sure.
yeah, yeah. I in the first episode, he had me laughing. It seems like these steps, like up and down these steps, up and down these steps.
Right.
I just thought, I don't know why, but I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
But to move over from Blaze to OLG, like you could definitely tell, like it's a completely brand new, different style type of restaurant, and he's, you know what I mean, like, so he's kind of like a fish out of water with what he's used to. But the good thing about it is, like you said, well, listen, the reason why she brought him there is because he performed so well over at Blaze, and she wants to be able to bring some of those practices to OLG. And so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, how he shows up at OLG, because it probably would have took me some convincing to move over there.
He was reading the cast. He was like, "This is how they dress."
That part had me cracking up. However, it says a lot about him as a worker that you are reliable. And I just felt bad, because me personally, if I'm doing great over this fabulous establishment, don't bring me over here and disrupt me.
Right.
It can be looked at in so many ways, and he agreed to doing it. So in some essence, he's fine. But I know for me, I would have been like, girl, no thank you.
Right.
No, staying in bougie town.
Exactly. And it's always bougie town.
Right. Moving right along to Mr. Torin. Torin is the event planner at Old Lady Gang. He left Old Lady Gang because he felt like he was being spread thin, and is back now. And we kind of saw a little tussle between Torin and Philip at the end of episode 3, where Torin is coming in, basically just trying to do his job, trying to take some measurements of the room, and Philip is like, "I haven't met you. Sit down. Who are you?" Like, very
military.
Very fast. So I like Torin. I think he's funny. I think it was hilarious that he had that little like weak charcuterie board, and the girls were like, "What is this?" Like, I was dying, because I'm like, I would really be pissed if you really come to my house, or you have me come to your house, and you're giving me a little weak charcuterie board that it's not even like. It better have some meats in there.
He had to work with what he had, y'all. He didn't have time to go to the store.
Chair, go to the Aldi's, chair.
Listen,
Go to the Aldi's.
Like in K's voice, bless his heart, because it is rude to invite people to your house and give them scraps. Like, I'm sorry. Listen, even if it's gonna exhaust me, Uber Eats. There's so many options. Gather that stuff day by day before you have people over, because it is not okay to have anybody in your house or your space with this much food.
If you have it.
Right, but especially if you are like an event planner, right? Like, I have friends that are event planners, and I expect so much from them. Like, when I go, you know what I mean, to their house for dinner, like, I know it's not just gonna be dinner. Like, it's gonna be a full on, display, on the table. And I think that also is probably where they were coming from. They're like, okay, you are an event planner, and this is what you're giving me. Like, I thought I was coming over here for something like fabulous. So yeah, I mean, I get it. But he probably said, listen, this is what I got, this is what y'all gonna get.
Listen, if I'm coming over, you better let me know ahead of time, because I need some snacks.
Right. Like, let me know that you're not gonna have them so I can stop and get them myself.
Right.
Okay, I could bring the pizza, I could bring the wine. Let me know.
Everybody bring
something. Moving right on to Melvin, Kandi's cousin slash godson, I believe. And he is the kitchen manager. So Melvin is in the kitchen whipping it up. So it was hilarious that in the last episode you saw the staff kind of saying, like, if you come to Old Lady Gang on Wednesday, the food is not going to taste the same as on Saturday. So in my head, I'm like, where's Melvin? Because he's the kitchen manager. He is responsible for that. Why doesn't the food taste the same? Which is like, I've worked at franchise restaurants, and I've also worked at like solely owned restaurants. And if you are an up and coming restaurant, I definitely agree. Like, you're gonna go through the growing pains, and you're gonna go through it where, like, sometimes the mac and cheese is really good, but sometimes it's not that good. So, and that's okay, because like, when you don't work for an Applebee's or like a franchise, you don't have these recipes like, that come packed up and you just like heat up real quick, like you're creating things as you go. So, and Melvin, you need to be at the forefront of that, because you are the kitchen manager, Chad.
Yeah, and I will say, I'm like you. I don't like when I have to go to a restaurant on a certain day to know that the food is good, right? Like, I should be able to come to your restaurant in any day I choose, and the food should somewhat be the same quality. And this is where I kind of like don't vibe with OLG, because I feel like it is a new restaurant, right? But it's been around long enough where some of these things that are going on should not be going on, right? Like, these are some of the things that you should have already figured out. These are some of the things that should already be lined up. And so, just like, I understand the restaurant is busy. You don't have a lot of space. People are lined up, outside. But like, what else? I don't know. It's just like certain things that I feel like the restaurant, or certain levels that I feel like the restaurant should be at right now. And like I said, the food is one of them. Like, it's recipes that you got, from your mom and your aunts. It's their recipes, and anybody that you bring in, they should be able to fix those recipes where it tastes the same, or like I said, or at least the same quality.
And the aunties are up in there every day.
Right.
So like, why they not tasting like this chicken don't taste right? Like, hello, like, what's the point? I don't need y'all here taking pictures. I need y'all here making sure the food tastes like y'all cooked it.
Right, because if it don't, then you ain't have to worry about taking no pictures of nobody, because ain't nobody be out here taking pictures with.
Right. And I think that it's easy to say, well, people are gonna come. People are gonna be there because there's a hype to this restaurant. But trust and believe, baby, that if the product is not good continuously, people will stop coming.
Yep.
And also, now that this show is on a this show is based on this restaurant, and like there's so much press about this restaurant. Seeing the, we, let's be honest, we see the stories out there, the tabloids, that the restaurant is not doing good when it comes to like the health inspection grades. And even in the episode that we see that they needed like a plumber, and the sink was so nasty, and I'm like, and y'all messing with people's foods around this dirty sink. Like, it's a lot of things that I feel like need to get done. And I also feel like, to be completely honest, when Kandi and Todd show up, it's like, what is going? No, like, put your hair up and get to it. Get to
Yep,
it.
'cause like you said, most time when the owner come and you straighten up, but they be like, oh, okay, Todd and Kandi come. Oh well,
They wanna show them the mess. They
Right.
wanna show them, oh, this is what's happening. Look, I was waiting for you to get here. No, like, tying up.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it comes with leadership as well. Like, you have to make sure everyone wants to be a leader. Let me start there. But you have to follow through as a leader to make sure these things don't happen. I'm sorry, for me, I can eat anywhere if the food's good. It will have me coming back and spend my money. I've driven places for some food, okay? But if I know the food's not tasting good, the service is bad, the service
Why
is
would I
this,
go?
the service is that,
Yeah, who
and then on top of it being dirty, the lights going out, all of these things, I ain't going.
I
I'm
forgot
not
about the
coming
light.
back. Let me tell you, there's a reason why people say the best food is in the hood, right? And we all know what hood means. People still go there for the food because what? It tastes good. So if your restaurant is in wherever, the nicest place in America, and the food is terrible, ain't nobody gonna go.
Mhm.
But if the
Yeah.
food is good, people will come back and keep you in business. Because like Wellington said, it's on a hype right now. And when that hype dies, or when they're not going to be on the show anymore and all of these things, the whole point of having a business is so that it lasts, right? And we saw so many people's business get closed down in the pandemic that were like in existence for years because people knew those places were they wanted to invest in, right? And certain businesses were saved because people know the food's good. They love they love the vibe, they love the energy, the people. And I'm sorry, if your food ain't good, might as well you close them doors.
Right.
Because it's not
Right.
it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. It's not going to last. And one thing about me, my chicken better be up to par.
Period.
It better be
With
up
that
to par.
said, the hottie, Mr. Thang, Patrick. He is the owner of the parking lot and partner of the parking lot. He works at, I think he owns the parking lot, right? I'm pretty sure he owns it, but like, or he's the manager of the parking lot. I don't know, but he's the manager of the parking lot. He looks fine as hell,
Yes, he does.
and he used to be real fit, huh? Like, he
Well,
used to be in entanglements with Chandrika. Um, but listen, when you replay a snippet, that little intro of him taking his shirt off in the gym, I replayed that little snippet like this, ding ding. Like I was like, child, why are they doing
Put
this
it
to
in
me?
slow motion.
Right, like now I'm watching the show just to see Patrick. Honestly, if I'm being honest with you, and the fact that he's loyal, like he ran right to Kandi, like they talking shit about you and how you paying these people. Like he was loyal. I think he's cool. I think that
Wellington, you out here hunting your man.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. What do you guys think about Patrick?
Well, he's
Oh,
definitely fine. Like you said. Personally, while it may be seen as being loyal, like, listen, if we're talking amongst ourselves as employees, I don't need you running back and telling the boss what I said. First of all, I'm gonna tell the boss what I said. Like, that's just the type of person I am. Like, you ain't got to worry about going back and telling her because I'm gonna tell her. But I don't like people at work like that, right? Like, if I want to express my grievances to my coworkers, like, I feel like I should be able to do that. Like, it should be a safe space. I shouldn't have to worry about who's gonna run back and tell somebody that I said something. But yeah, listen, I mean, I guess when you look that fine, I could, let it pass. But yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to kind of see like what else he brings. And especially like you said, he had his little thing going on with Chandrika, and I can't wait to kind of see like what that's gonna be like. Like, I feel like that would be the only reason why I would go to OLG. I would call and say, "Is he there?" And then I will come.
Right.
That might
Right.
be OLG.
I think
Like I'm gonna wait in that parking lot, child.
Right. I walk right down the corner. It might be around the block. I'm still waiting. Yeah.
I
Right.
think you made a valid point because none of us like coworkers like that. You know, I don't know what happened to my voice.
Are you good, sister?
Clearly,
Lord.
Take a minute, child.
clearly, I've been down this road before. It hurts my heart. No, none of us like that little snitching coworker. Okay, we don't like that. We can, like Kay said, we can speak for ourselves. It's one thing to go to the boss and say, "Hey, there's some concerns here you should be aware of." A lot of us or certain people feel the need that so and so is going on, and they think it's better that you address it or you're aware of it to handle it.
Right.
Going to go throw somebody under the bus and do all this does not help the work environment. That creates a toxic work environment. And you have to be better. Like I said before, if you want to be a leader or act like a leader, there's simple things. And people always make those things so complicated.
Right. I agree. Well, that has been it when it comes to the recap of Candy and the Gang. Like I said, new show on Bravo. I'm loving this show. I'm here for any new black show on Bravo, honestly.
Absolutely.
So just to see some black faces on my TV and some new people being introduced into this reality TV world, I'm here for it. I'm wishing the show really good things, and I hope that I keep seeing Patrick on my screen, child. With that said, Kay, take it away.
Absolutely. Listen, since we're on, our people being on television and being in the forefront and seeing more of our people, let's get into the new Real Housewives Lagos. Listen, when I seen that cast photo, it came out, it was vibrant, like the colors, like, I mean, that pink and green, I mean, it just looks like $1,000,000, right? Like, it went viral as soon as it came out, like, because of just how great it looked. Oh my God, like, I don't know, like, why we can't get cast photos like that on some of these other Real Housewives franchises. But listen, they did not come to play. They came out here. They're like, we're making our mark. Like, look at her shoulder on this. Oh, child, let me just
Yeah, all the way
I'm like,
on
can I just have y'all wardrobe? Like I said, this is the cast photo for the new Real Housewives of Lagos. The franchise is not associated with Bravo. It will be premiering on Showmax April the 8th. What do you guys think? Like, I think we have a sneak peek, right? Is that right, Wellington?
Let's take a look.
Success. Money. Power. Gold digging. Got married to a billionaire. Poor people can stand there. I'm a night crawler.
If you come on my page, I'll block you.
There you have it.
Money, and more money. It's what Beverly Hills should be, but ain't. It's what Miami it kind of sort of is. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's like literally Beverly Hills with black girls.
Listen, a step up though. You got to give them a step up.
it's given everything we needed to get back with Housewives and that fabulous life. The beauty, the essence. It was just given everything. This cast photo, how they each individually look so elegant, and then even the part solo shots, they just look so good. The way they talk, the way they're just so comfortable in your skin, giving it black girl luxury. And I love, love, love it. I cannot wait to see this. I hope, Bravo end up buying this out and it becomes a big show, because to be so comfortable to cheers and say to gold digging, like, girl. And that's what I mean. Like, if you're going to be the villain, be the villain. If you're going to be that girl and live up to it, because just don't apologize for being you. Because if that's what you do, baby, that's what you do. And I lived for that little premiere. I lived.
Right.
I can't wait. My calendar is set. I don't care what else is going on that day. I will be watching it. Now I do have to figure out what Showmax is though. Like, I've never heard of Showmax.
It's I think it's like it's their channel, and that's where they're gonna air. So usually international franchises are carried on different stream platforms. So let's hope that they break a deal with some American stream platform, stream, not street, stream platform, that they can, so that we can watch it, because I'm intrigued. But
yes. To my little internet friends, post it.
right.
Post it. Leak it everywhere. I want to watch it. I want to see. It just gave so much. Oh, je ne sais quoi. I loved it.
Right. Well, let's get into our next story, shall Katie, and take it away.
Yes, we're now going to talk about Joseline Cabaret. Is it doing more harm than good, y'all? Because season 3 of Joseline's Cabaret is ripping through the headlines as one of the castmates, Amber, recently reported that she was attacked by Joseline Hernandez and her fiance, Ballistic. Let's take a look at what she posted on Instagram.
Time to stick her ass. And that's exactly what I did. Sticked her. And she fell. And when she fell, Ballistic attacked me. And I only hit her because she kicked me in my stomach for no reason.
Okay, enough of that.
Just look away, y'all. Just look away. No comment for right now, but Joseline took to Twitter to, share her thoughts. Let's look at some tweets that Joseline put out.
She said, I Mortal Kombat one hoe. Pimp slap another one. Push one into last night's episode. Kick down a few on the ground. I slapped fire out of everyone on the stage. Me and my crew wait for it. Hashtag Joseline's Cabaret. She also said, keep crying from your hospital bed with your broken ribs. One kick, you flew into the next day. Ryan mouth ass hoe. Oh my God.
That's me.
Television, we love the drama, but when things get physical, allegedly, let me just throw that word out there, it's not good. It's not good. It can be entertaining at times, but when it gets to the point where someone's in the hospital, not good. No bueno. And on top of that, the social media bragging, it just kind of riles people up. And you don't know if your fans are going to go attack that person or do more harm to that person that, of what happened. And then, Amber alleges that a man also entered the fight, Ballistic, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say this. It's hard to say someone's partner shouldn't defend them, but when women are fighting, it's a different story than when a man enters the scene and starts attacking too as well. And I'm sure they had bodyguards and all sorts of people involved. And I can't judge because we have to wait till it airs, right? To see what took place, who instigated, who was on the defense, all of those things, and what truly happened to make our own side judgment. but we have to be super duper careful how we release information to the public. That I will address now. How we release information to the public, because fans are crazy. And I'm not even going to try and sugarcoat it. Fans are crazy. And they will troll that girl till the end of tomorrow, whether she's right or wrong. And I just think adding to it. And, Joseline, she's their leader, air quotes, right? She's the one that's putting this whole thing together. And I just feel like, again, if you want to be this boss, if you want to be this leader, it starts from you. And if you're going to be kicking and punching and bragging, you have to also know there's things that are going to come with that. And I hope she's prepared for the aftermath, because but then again, there's this saying, be careful how you introduce yourself to the world, because that's what people will remember you as. And how she was introduced to us was fighting, kicking and screaming, being on Love and Hip Hop and all of those things. So it's not surprising that this is still the behavior. However, you want to be a boss, you want to be that girl, but you also have to level up. So that I will talk about now, but I will await to see what happened to then speak on that maybe in our next show or on social media.
Right.
Well, I will definitely say Zeus has put out a statement that they're investigating this situation. So they did state that. And I think the only reason why they probably did is because I went to their page today and a lot of people were in the comments saying, what are you doing about this? Like, this is not right. Like, you haven't said anything.
But like, let's be completely honest. Do you think Zeus is actually investigating the situation? Their number one show, that is a mess. And also, like, this is my thing with like works in this industry, and it's close to reality TV in so many aspects. I hate that there is this stereotype that reality TV is trash TV. That reality TV is this like, guilty pleasure. Everybody always says, oh yeah, my guilty pleasure is Housewives. Why does it have to be a guilty pleasure? Why can't it just be a pleasure? These people live their lives on camera to show us how to deal with certain situations. I've learned so many things through watching these shows on how to be a friend, what not to do, how certain people are gonna be upset with you, but you gotta keep it moving. There's a lot of things that I've learned through watching these shows. So I hate, places like Zeus that stop laughing, Kate.
I'm trying to hold it in. I'm trying to hold it. Get your thought out while
I'm not laughing. I'm done.
I just hate places like Zeus that I'm not saying that I hate Zeus or like the people that work there, but in the sense of like, let's elevate the culture.
Right.
Why do we have to bring it down? Let's elevate it. Why almost about to get into a generation where people didn't know about Bad Girls Club. You know what I'm saying? Like where people didn't talk about that. And here we are dragging our own culture through the mud again, showing that the only thing, like this stereotype, that the only way that we're able to communicate with each other is by hitting each other and being harmful and being violent. Like this is why then, situations happen on shows like The Housewives, and fans and the world reacts to certain situations in a certain way because they think that the only way that we're able to behave is like the behavior on this show. So it angers me because it's like, this is the problem in reality TV. But when I'm telling you that there's a business aspect to it and people want to see this and this is what people want to watch and people love this and they've made millions doing this. I don't know. I think for them. Go ahead.
And I think that's a great point, because that tells us that we, the viewers, are the ones that choose what actually is displayed on the TV, right? Like if we don't watch shows like this, then they wouldn't be able to make millions off of it and they wouldn't be able to continue it on, right? But because we are watching it and because we are giving it viewership, they are collecting the coins. And let's be honest, if I'm collecting $1 million from something, why would I stop? Right? Like I'm gonna keep on going until the milk runs dry. Basically, it's basically how Zeus is doing. They're gonna run it until the wheels fall off. But
Right.
I agree. I think that it comes a point in time where we can still have conflict, we can still have drama without it going violent and being physical, right? We see enough of that already. Just walking outside, going to stores, turning on the news. Like we want to escape those things by watching reality TV. I don't want to come to reality TV and think that I'm just watching a news segment, right? Like I think I personally do not watch Jocelyn's Cabaret, and I don't watch it because of the way that she speaks to them, right? Like I don't understand how there's nothing that Jocelyn could afford me that would allow me to allow her to speak to me in the way that she speaks to some of those ladies. Like
And it's not even like she's giving $100,000.
right.
She's giving them $10,000.
And by the time the taxes hit that baby, you bring home $5,000.
And I mean, what this is why we get treated a certain way too in society. You know, there's a lot of us that tries to shift the narrative of how we're looked at and how we're projected. And sometimes certain people only have television to understand who we are, right? Because we might not be in their neighborhoods, we might not be in their family or their friendship groups. And this is what they see that goes viral on television or the internet, for them to acknowledge and understand how we act as a certain group of people. And you have to be super cautious that, especially when you're the leader of a women's group, right? Especially that you have to showcase some type of couth about you, that they understand that you're their leader. Because from what my understanding is, there's women that come on the show with a lot of insecurities, trauma, and all these things.
Yeah.
And then to be also not calling Jocelyn vile, you know, but to be having those type of behaviors and those type of tweets towards certain type of actions, you know, no apology or no,
Right.
oh my God, it shouldn't have went that far. It was just a moment type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things, it doesn't help. It does not help. And that's why I say I'm gonna save my judgment, my harsher judgment, for when we see what happened. But to know that the tweets that followed after you see someone laying in a hospital bed, you don't know. She could have internal bleeding from you kicking her.
She said that she's gonna press charges against Ballistic.
And that's the point too, right there as well. It's one thing for two women to be scrapping, but then when a man gets involved, it takes it to a whole nother level, especially because she's somewhere where she has no one else to really truly defend her or have her back.
That's the thing with that house that is so dangerous. That is that they are so brainwashed by the idea that they're going to become like these
Superstars.
moguls, you know, these superstars from being on this show. And they live and eat and breathe Joseline Hernandez. And they, you know, even if the girl has a point, but if she goes against Joseline, they're all gonna jump her. And it's like, you know, like there was another instance, because I'm gonna be honest, I do watch the show,
Well,
and
somebody gotta watch it.
right, like, and listen, I watch it because I feel like I am a patron of reality TV, and I need my audience and the listeners to know that I actually watch the show. There's another girl on the show that she literally had to like beg, like, please don't jump me, please, can you tell them not to jump me, like.
And it shouldn't be happening, because I see a lot of women of color try to bring us together, because society is already against this, right? And you don't want to be a leader, group a bunch of women, and then still doing all the things that society judges us off or rip us apart for. And it's unfortunate. And I hope, you know, she comes to a realization and grows up. You know, she's already in her late 30s. Hope she grows up to understand that my behavior, my mental illness, all of these things, I need to get in check, because I also have a young daughter, and you wouldn't want your young daughter to be at school or anywhere else when she grows up and gets grouped on get ganged up on because of your past actions at that. And we see that happen often so much. Look at what Teresa's Judas kids go through. Like, come on, we got to do better.
With that said, thank you everybody for joining us in another episode of Reality Right After. That has been our show. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel to child, not me with the Acadian. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel so that you can stay updated with everything reality TV. We have exclusives, we have fun news segments, and just a bunch of content that you need to see. And we're putting it out every day, so make sure that you guys subscribe to that. And if you miss our live broadcast, we are also available on podcast the next day. So go anywhere you find your podcast, search Reality Right After, and we're right there. Thank you to my amazing co-hosts, Kay and Kadian, for joining me today. And we'll see everybody next week. Bye.
Bye.